Okay, guys, I have a very early example of my 2-point perspective drawing. So I sent a photo of the perspective that I'm drawing, which is here, the corner, one of the corners of my house. And you can see that the corner is the closest part to me, and the walls, the sides of the house, get further and further away. And so you should find either somewhere inside your house, outside your house, something, and try to follow this example as well. And so on here, on my paper, my vanishing points are up here, kind of more in the middle of my corner of the wall here, and they go out. Obviously my walls don't continue that far, but that is kind of where I started. I made the corner of my wall, I made it pretty high, about 4 inches, because I cannot see on the top of my roof. I'm kind of below it looking up, and so you will want to keep that in mind when you're drawing as well. So this is more like the foundation where kind of my rocks are at, and the lawn will be over here, and then over here is my door will be right here, the sidewalk, and then the deck and the other part of the house is over here. So I kind of started off finding the center of my entire page, which is 5.5 inches. And so I just went up 4 inches from there. And then from the top here and the bottom here, I drew my lines to the vanishing point. And then, as you can see, the corner of my house is there. And so, I mean, just kind of a best guess how far down the page you want to go. I believe I did about 4 inches. And so from here to here I measured 4 inches, and then you just draw straight up and down, and that cuts off your house. And eventually I'll erase these lines, but I left them just so that you can see how all of these lines, they all go to one point. And then on the other side of the house, obviously my door is the end pretty much of that first wall there. So I believe I made that 2 inches and then drew a line straight down, and then I will go back and draw the door and window and all that. Okay, so then I, from here to here, drew these lines here, and eventually I will erase some of them, but I just left them here so that you can use them as a guideline for your sketches. Of course, online I cannot tell from your guys' sketches, but some of them I'm worried that all of the lines aren't quite matching up to your points. These points should be here, and they should not move once you have kind of placed them and figured out where you want them. They should not move, and all of these lines, as you can see, follow to those points. Okay, so I drew a line down to mark the end of that wall where my door is at, and then as you can see, up on the deck is another wall that continues, but it's kind of up behind there. So what I did there is I just measured down, I think about 1/2 inch or something, and that will be where the roof and the wall meet for that part of the house. And that, as you can see, still follows to my point there. And then here is where kind of that deck, the lip of the deck goes up. I made that, I think, about a 1/4 inch up. And so then that is kind of where I'm kind of marking the bottom of that wall there. It's behind the barbecuer and the potting bench, so you can't see it, but you know it's there. So that's kind of how I decided to mark that, and it goes to the vanishing point. And then again, just measure down however far you think you need to go, and draw the end of the wall where that white fence meets it. And so that is the end of that wall there. And again, I'll eventually erase all these lines, but I want to keep them so you can understand exactly what it is I'm drawing. Okay, so then I continued on to the roof up there, and you can see kind of under the roof where those little slats are at, the kind of the panels. And so that is what I did next, just to kind of get that placed. So I went up about 1 inch to the corner there, and then drew my line to the vanishing point, and then drew this line to the vanishing point. I will have to go back and make the other roof over there, because it's not one roof. There are two separate roofs on different planes. So I will have to go back and end this first roof by my door. I'll have to just cut that off and then redraw the other roof for this part of the house that is on top of the deck. But for now, you can just see where I'm getting this part of the roof. So then I'll come back here. The corner of the roof kind of pops out like that. So I will have to, from this line down, we'll just have to mark it off here and then cut it off. So then, and then I'll erase the rest of these lines. So right now you can probably tell what it is, but I don't know if you can see, but under there's little slats and panels that angle in towards the house. So these ones on this side will angle in towards the house, and they go like this all the way down. And then on this side they go the opposite direction, and they angle in all these panels. And so then you can see here I marked, there's about 5 panels, so I equally marked where each of them will begin depending on the direction they go. But once I get those panels in, you'll be able to notice like it's underneath a roof. Right now the roof looks like it's kind of like pointing up into the sky, but once I get these panels in, it'll change kind of the perspective, and you'll be able to notice that it's underneath. It's not necessarily pointing up. So I just wanted to post this video and show you kind of the beginning stages and what yours should be looking like, getting off on a good start. Again, if you want to get this far on your sketch and then email it or post it on Google Classroom, I'll look at it and make sure that everything is lining up and that you're on the right track, so then you don't have to go back and erase a bunch of stuff. That can get kind of frustrating. So I will post another video once I've gotten a little further, and hope you guys enjoy discovering this new technique.